What's going on, guys? I'm going to give you an update on Control Token. If you're not paying attention to our Twitter spaces, we do a lot of spaces that are just kind of quick, that kind of happen spontaneously if you're trying to be up to date on what's going on with Control Token. So we are going to be launching a chain. The purpose of the chain is something that I've had a vision towards, which is to create a token that solves DeFi's problems, create utilities that solves those problems, and we're building those, and then to eventually create a chain where people can come to build on a chain that's designed for the purpose of why crypto and shares and investing was invented in the first place, which is to collectively invest in something to get a share of the value from its profit. It wasn't to like dump on a bunch of people and be used as Ponzi's. But the purpose of what this chain would be was to be to provide really what people are looking for, both in meme coins and in people that are trying to have serious businesses, which is instead of just building on a liquidity pool, which incentivizes everybody to just buy early and dump, and then once the chart goes down, it hurts the sentiment of your project. We are incentivizing a community to actually be aligned with what the future goal of the project is. When you buy into a project, you're agreeing to everything that they have, who's in charge, the tokenomics, the roadmap, all that stuff, but you're also agreeing to the liquidity pool. And that's where I see the problem, the foundational problem of all of DeFi is the liquidity pool. What we're looking at doing is creating a chain that focuses in on that, the ability to have tax tokens while covering those taxes with the tokens that the chain provides. Every transaction on the chain, whether it be the gas for anything that's built on the chain for tokens or anything, will be fueling into Control Token, and a percentage of it will be fueling into our 12-month rewards. So if the chain has any kind of volume, then it's going to be pushing the price of the token up, and it's going to be pushing the rewards for the 12-month up. It's also going to be its own token that's going to also be on the chain, and a percentage of volume will also be going towards that. The goal of the chain is to unite projects to do good for people and to reward them for doing so. That's kind of the underlying goal of the chain, is to be a chain that provides what you want. We're also going to have some other unique aspects to it in terms of KYC, so that you can have a project that does KYC, and the people that are searching for projects on our chain will be able to sort them by the ones that have been KYC'd. So if a project has done KYC, you know that their owner has attached their reputation to the project. Now, projects don't have to do that, but the ones that do will be able to stand out to people, that they're literally putting their reputation on the line, and that can bring this level of transparency to the people who deserve it, who are putting their reputation on the line to try to make a good crypto. We are going to be doing a raise for the chain, and this raise could do very well. If the raise does well, it's going to fund our utilities, it'll pay for the chain, it'll pay for marketing, and it'll pay for marketing for our utilities and our token. And we have a very good team that could potentially do a very good job in raising the funds for the chain. So if we go to the website, there's a couple things that we really need, and they're coming very soon. One is going to be a swap, and this swap is going to allow you to, when you buy Control Token, it's going to collect the fees so that it doesn't fuel sells from buys on the charts. The sells will still do it, but it won't fuel it from the buys. Then we're also adding some other really cool stuff. So you'll also be able to buy and sell and swap XUSD in our own site. Right now it's a little complex and a little difficult for people, so this will make it 1,000 times easier, and that's kind of an important feature to have. But even cooler than that is we're going to be adding the ability to come in and create a wallet. So you'll be able to tell your grandma about it. She'll be able to come to our website. She can use a Gmail. She can use a phone number. She'll be able to buy crypto. She'll be able to buy our token. And so this is going to make it 1,000 times easier for Web 2, who's not familiar with DeFi wallets and slippage and gas and contract addresses, all that stuff, to come in and just buy Control Token. They'd be able to create a wallet using a Gmail. They're connected. They hit buy. They buy. They've got the token, right? So, and our marketing is about to be focused in both the Web 2 and Web 3. The marketing that we haven't really done yet, we've done some marketing, is about to have the potential to be a very big push for both Web 2 and Web 3. The Web 3 is going to be mostly a push through our utilities, and yes, through spaces and through posts and stuff, your typical marketing in Web 3 that everybody's doing. And the Web 2 is going to be for our chain. The people in Web 2 apparently are much more interested in getting into a chain than they are just into a token. Although by getting them into the chain, once they see that it's fueling our token, then they have the opportunity to find out about everything that we're doing at Control Token. If we go to our chart, we can see some things that happened. One, we launched the prize pool, and we were doing really well. If people hadn't have sold, we'd be at some crazy all-time high right now. A lot of people sold, and BNB wasn't doing amazing. So we're down quite a lot right now, and this is for people, this is kind of that moment where you decide, right? Look at everything we're doing, look at how you feel about it, make that decision for yourself. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen. All I can tell you is what the roadmap is. When you're moving like this, you feel more confident buying. When you go like this, you get scared. But once we go, if we go back up, everyone's gonna be like, oh man, I wish I would have bought more here, right? If we go up. So you just have to keep that in mind, make your own decisions. But the good part about that is our rewards skyrocket as the price goes down. So 1 month rewards are already at almost 10 grand and we have 11 days left. So that's really good. 6 month rewards are at almost 65,000, and our 12 month rewards are at 161,000, coming up on, getting pretty close to that $200,000. Remember, the 12 month always grows faster than everything else. So we have a long time left. So we got 254 days for this number to keep going up, which is really sweet. We have 72 days for the 6 month rewards to continue to go up. On to the prize pool, because we're about to make some big adjustments to this. It's actually almost full. We have 1,511 tickets out of 2,000. And I'm going to be setting a date. This is going to end this week, and then we're going to change how this works to make it better suit Control Token. We have to adjust to fit to what it is that we're doing, and we're about to see some major improvements to really buying Control Token. And it did well. The first one filled, 1,000 tickets filled. We put out a bunch of winners in stablecoin. We put buys on the chart, created rewards. We've done all these cool things, right? But we're going to lower the amount of tickets. We're also going to lower the entry fee from $100 to probably $25, so that anybody can get an entry. But if you want to get $100 worth of entries, instead of getting one, you'd get 4. So it doesn't really affect anything other than it enables people who don't want to put in a ton to still be able to get in. Rewards will be smaller. We're going to have less tickets for winners. We're also going to have smaller amounts because the tokenomics of it are going to change as well. We're probably going to lower those to around 20%. And instead of having it be 50% of buys that aren't going towards the chart, it'll only be 20%. And so people that are buying through the modal will still be putting a large amount of buys on the chart while still getting these extra rewards on top in both the form of rewards and both in the form of the lotto. The other thing that we'll be doing is we're looking at bridging to base, and basically you don't have to do anything. We just have to create it, and then we can launch our liquidity. We can put some liquidity on base, and they'll have the same tokenomics, and it'll open us up to them. We'll be able to market to other chains other than BNB, which will be good for what we're about to do. We're also going to be launching a token, and this isn't another project. It's just purely just setting up a crypto, getting it set up. There's no roadmap of future thing. There's none of that. It's just setting up a crypto that has similar tokenomics to Control Token, but it's going to be on Solana, and you're welcome to buy that if you want. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And 2% of the volume from that token will be going towards our treasury. So if the token does well, brings in a lot of volume, then it'll fuel our treasury, which can go towards our charts or towards our rewards or towards our utilities, depending on whatever we need. I'm most inclined right now to put any revenue from anything we're creating towards the charts to get that momentum going. So when it comes to this Solana token, why are we doing it? Well, because we can put it out there. It's just another token. It'll have different tokenomics than Control Token. It will have the ability, if it does well, for me to point and say, this is my project, and this is just a taste of what we're doing over here at Control Token. Here's our chain, here's our utilities, and here's the token that's going to benefit from it all. We are changing the prize pool. I'm also going to be changing how tokenomics work. So pretty soon I'm going to be making it so that you're going to be getting a certain percentage on top of regular buys, so that we incentivize regular buys, but we can also incentivize the prize pool. The prize pool will probably appeal more to newer buyers that want to put in smaller amounts of money, whereas the regular buys through our website, through the modal, will be the people that actually like the project and want to build a large bag. So we have a really cool way to have both these best of both worlds, fueling the growth of the project. And those are the updates that we're going to be looking at. So we have a lot going on, and I just want to communicate that to you guys through this video so that you guys know what it is that we're doing at Control Token. Back to the chart. I know you guys don't like this, but typical cryptos, when they sell, there's no benefit, right? And typically people get scared and they just abandon ship. We have rewards that are constantly going up as this happens, and we have other things that are going to be happening, including coming in and adding extra tokens on top, and some other things that we are going to be able to do to help recover this. But this was, I believe, less than 100K in sells, so it didn't take much to get us down here. And the sells that are happening at these lower prices are good. And if you're bullish on the future of the project, then you'll probably like where we're at. But if our utilities are generating, 100K a month, then that would put us, with only 1 month, that would put us back at the all-time high. Our utilities range from creating personalized tokenomics for projects to our open public lotto that brings in all these different chains to come together on one platform, to our marketing utility and to our blockchain. So we actually have all these different utilities, and these weren't created for the sake of making them. They were created for the sake of it's something that's needed. It's a problem that needs to be solved. Other projects can use our tokenomics to fuel their treasury, incentivize buys on their chart, and incentivize people to hold their project without putting sells on their chart. And if they have tokens to cover that, they can do it with no expense to the holders. Basically, they can say, we're going to cover the part that you're purchasing, which is really cool, because they're not going to have a sell fee, they're just going to have a buy fee. And then we're going to say, hey, if you use this, you can cover the buy fee, which is basically nothing. That's super easy to do. You don't even need that many tokens. And then you can take that, fuel your treasury, incentivize buys, give to new holders who are buying through this tokenomics model. This is what we've accomplished, right? Is over $240,000 to $250,000 in rewards. Typically, all of that would have went to the people that were selling, right? This whole model was like, no, we're taking all this from the people that are selling, and we're giving it to the people who are working to make this project grow. And like I said, if you don't like this, the fact that the chart went down, it didn't take many sells to get us down here. It won't take many buys to get us back up. So just keep that in mind. And we have a lot of really good things coming, including that we're doing marketing. We have utilities that are needed. I've already talked to projects, and whenever I explain the problem of control token that control token fixes, people don't necessarily jump aboard, although I have had some people say, you've sold me on this token, even though I wasn't trying to necessarily. But most projects just say, I want that for my project. I'm like, sweet, that's a utility, that's a need that projects will there's no shortage of projects that are going to need that. Well, what are we going to be able to do with that? Build up value, put a fee on it, put a fee on the transaction volume, fuel that toward the treasury, fuel that towards buys on the chart till we get that momentum that we're seeking. And that's one utility, or tokenomics utility. The public lotto chain utility could actually do really well because it brings projects to work together and to be part of something that's making DeFi more fair, which is really cool. So we have the ability to build that one and build it on Solana chain. It's quite expensive, so I'm going to put that one off a little bit, and we're going to focus on the tokenomics utility. And then our marketing utility, if the token does well, if the chain does well, if anything does well, the marketing utility will do well. And even if those things don't do well, I can just be doing spaces all the time and bringing in a project here, a project there, getting either a video or a live stream or a post or whatever to fuel our treasury to put buys on the chart. That's the main goal, is buys on the chart, because that's where it's most needed until we get that momentum. And then we can either focus on rewards, we can focus on giving value to new buyers, we can focus on adding liquidity. There's a lot of things that we can do, but the primary focus is going to be the chart. And then you add the fact that we are going to be able to do marketing with that. If our chain does well, which we have a very unique chain, in my opinion, this is the chain that should be in DeFi. It should cover what the problems of DeFi are, which is that you need control not just of your roadmap and your vision, but the tokenomics. You need to understand the value distribution of the liquidity pool, and you need to align that with the interest of what your holders are aiming to do. And if you don't balance the liquidity pool in some way, it's just going to pump and it's just going to dump, and people are going to leave it, whether it's utility or a meme. So this gives people the freedom, and it encourages them to explore what the possibilities are on this chain of, what if you put this much value towards the future? What if you put 30%, 40%, and then you covered those tokens of the buy-in fee and you had no sell fee? There's so much room to play with it, and our chain will be the best place to do it, because it'll be able to collect that value without putting cells on the chart. You'll have projects that KYC, and there's some other really cool elements that we're going to have that I'm looking at adding to this that can kind of take this factor of how do we reward projects to build good projects on our chain and to try to help people, and how do we in some way take from the projects that are trying to just create rugs on our chain. The KYC definitely is something that can do that itself. Like if you're not KYC, then people just might not buy your project. They might just be looking for the people that are willing to put themselves on the line. And projects can be like, hey, if you go to Control Chain, you KYC, that brings an insane amount of credibility to you because your reputation's on the line, and people understand that you're extremely unlikely to rug, and if you do, all your information is available to the KYC. So really cool stuff that we have coming, and it's going to be coming fast and hot. It's going to start pumping out very quickly. Sol Token probably going to take a couple weeks. It's going to have a website. We'll do a little bit of marketing for it. The bridge is going to happen. The chain, all this stuff is about to everything's about to start happening probably this week. All of these things are going to be starting this week, and they all have potential to do very exciting things for us. I'm super bullish. I'm super confident about the future of the project and what we have coming. And yeah, just giving this update for you guys. And if you guys want to stay up to date, this stuff usually goes to Twitter first in the form of a Twitter space, but I'm posting this video here so that you guys on YouTube, and I'll post this on Twitter as well, but if you miss the space, you'll see this video.